Mother Earth feeds us, but if we overburden her, there will be less and less water, soil, forest, wildlife, good climate, capacity to recycle, neutralize pollution, what makes human life possible. There will be less and less peace and justice, more and more fights for the resources and scarcity. We have to recognize burdens of Mother Earth and have to be very careful and responsible about them, otherwise our civilization will not only crash land, but collapse. We developed this group training game in November 2006 in India for the global education for teachers of the ASP school network in Gujarat that we support for 3 decades now. Visual, interactive form of education, what works even without electricity, was needed for the jungle schools of the tribal areas. The rural teachers have a wonderful wisdom of nature, children, and village community in matters. The biocapacity of the Earth, its ability to sustain human life, is represented by the surface of a 3-meter diameter circle. Participants are standing around the circle on the ground. Trainer stands at the 0 point. Biocapacity is measured in global hectares, GHA, amount of ability of 1 hectare average surface of Earth to sustain human life. Ecological footprint is also measured in GHA, means also natural resources, showing how many hectares of average surface is needed to sustain a given person's way of life. Groups estimate how big is their sector, slice of cake, how big is the biocapacity of their region. Then the trainer gives them the real data, the division of the 360 degrees, the centimeters in the circle perimeter, and the participants measure these up with colorful stripes. Ecological footprint is the natural resource use of a person, the burden a person places onto Mother Earth by its needs. We use water, land, wood, ocean, wildlife niche, neutralizers of pollution, etc. for food, accommodation, transport, rubbish, etc. Groups estimate footprint person of their region, country, related to the footprint person average of Hungary. Then the trainer gives data. Each group gets 1 square area of what represents the present resource use, ecological footprint in 2006, per person in that country, region. If a square represents 10 million people's ecological footprint of the given region, country, how many of these squares will each and every group need? Groups estimate the population of their country, region, then they are given the actual data and the representing deck of squares. Trainer clarifies measure of migration. Example, annually 500,000 leaves China, 500,000 enters Europe, 1 million enters the USA. Groups fill their area with squares without overlapping them. Do not mind small gaps, at least something is left for wildlife. They hold in hand the squares they could not fit into the circle. It is an important moment when they recognize that they have too many and too big squares that do not fit into the circle. Trainer gives data of overburden of each sector. To visualize the measure of the overload, the groups place down the surplus squares on the ground outside the circle parameter in the matching sector, without overlapping. It becomes clearly visible that overburden is much bigger than the small resorts in Brazil, Canada, Australia, and Siberia. There are also overburden countries, example Japan, Mexico, in the O group, but now we deal only with the biggest sectors. The groups try to estimate whether their footprint is growing or declining. Then the groups receive the estimated population data for 2007 represented by rectangles, with human figure. The population growth of the US is a bigger burden to the Earth than that of China and India together, because the growth is multiplied by the footprint per person. Data on annual footprint per person growth estimated for 2007, represented by the rectangles with footprint figure. It is 0 in India, etc., when the rapidly growing number of the poor swallows up in average the footprint growth of the rich. After this, the trainer gives estimated population growth data for the 2008 to 2015 period, represented by big rectangles with human figure. Trainer gives estimated consumption growth data for the 2008 to 2015 period, represented by big rectangles with footprint figure. The trainer gives biocapacity per person data of the regions. Area of squares in the color legend representing biocapacity per person to each region. Groups walk around slowly to see better other sectors from their point of view. Each group chooses a partner group for mutual visits and conversation. What are our feelings about the growing overburden of Mother Earth? Outcomes of the 4 discussions are represented to the plenary. Some elements of human life burden the earth. We call these roots. Others do not burden it. We call these fruits. If humankind can take a turn and focus on the fruits, the non-material richness, then we can avoid the collapse of our civilization and realize slow material decrease. The roots are necessary, but they have to be treated very, very carefully, as they burden the earth. The fruits give the essence and goal of human life and happiness. As they do not burden the earth, infinite progress is possible in them.